Welcome to the Betmoorsports podcast. I am the host, Avery Fuller, with my co-host, Stephen Trotman Bay, a.k.a.
The Guru.
And we got a special guest in the building tonight. We got my man, DeAngelo Freeman. And he is one of the entrepreneurs in our era, for sure. Tell us about what you got going on.
I got a cell phone business, but I got a community day this Saturday, June 11th. We're going to be giving back to the community, fathers knowledge on eating, health, wealth, and education. So come out. It's going to be at the Crop Center. Come out from 12 to 4 this Saturday, June 11th. We're showing a lot of love to the community.
Hey, nothing like it. I got plenty of kids, so we're going to do what we can to be out there. That's for sure. We got a lot to talk about. We got the NBA Finals. We got some drama with Draymond, as they call it. We also got some NFL signings. Some of the signings we spoke of last week. Did we bring it to life?
They watched the podcast.
they had to. And then we got a recap from Devin Haney's fight last weekend. So let's go on and just get the party started, because, you know me, party animal. YOLO. All right, so Boston is ahead of Golden State. They are up 2-1 in the finals. I don't think many people expected this to be the case. You think Golden State in trouble?
I still got Golden State winning the series. But I need to know who Steve Kerr got winning the series. Because if I know who Steve Kerr got winning the series, I know how to handicap the rest of the games in the series.
Yeah, because I'm going to tell you, Steve Kerr is asleep right now. I don't know what's going on. I was giving him plenty of credit last week.
You're making me look bad.
Yeah.
Because we got on the same podcast and we praised Steve Kerr.
We did.
For being one of the greatest NBA coaching minds in the history of the NBA. And he kind of embarrassing me right now.
I almost gave him credit for Mark Jackson doing as far as his recruitment. You know. DeAngelo, what you think?
I got Golden State recovering, man. I just think they don't need to be working carry too much. Fathers to overload them, man, for the later games in the series. So we'll see.
Let me ask y'all this: How y'all think that injury that Curry got last night is going to impact his game?
I don't even think he was injured. I just think he was losing. The man fell on his leg. That ain't look like something that could really hurt you,
right?
So to speak.
It's weird because he laid on his leg and he stayed on his leg. You know what I'm saying? I was looking at it like, bruh, I would have been pissed. Just because it's like it was almost as if he was doing it on purpose.
Right.
Then he turned around and got a flagrant foul for getting too much of his space, and Steph came out on his foot.
Well, that happened earlier.
Oh, so that happened before that?
Right.
Okay.
That happened much earlier.
And it was with the same person. As if Al Horford is secretly playing dirty.
I think both of them are kind of secretly playing dirty. Because if you look at the play where they were shooting a free throw and Jason Tatum tried to box out Draymond put the man in the headlock, then grabbed the man bad shoulder, pulled the shoulder, then swung the man to the side.
Yeah, I think Draymond might be responsible for Steph getting beat up.
Exactly.
It's messed up.
Draymond's spending too much time trying to be a bully and not enough time being a basketball player.
Hey, but he also spending too much time being a podcaster.
Draymond, if you want to work for Betmoorsports Podcast, man, just give me a call or look me up on IG or Facebook or YouTube and subscribe to the channel. First, you got to subscribe, and then we might bring you on and let you podcast permanently.
All in all, I feel like Draymond podcasting, I don't got a huge problem with it because I feel like that's what he do, and he's kind of setting his future up. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But if this was the regular season, okay. But this is the finals. And you playing like shit balls. So when you playing like shit balls, at some point, something got to give.
I'm going to change gears real quick and ask you a quick question.
Uh-huh.
Tom Brady.
Okay.
The GOAT. And I hate to mention Tom Brady and Draymond Green in the same sentence. But if Tom Brady throws 5 interceptions in the middle of the season, say, hey, I'm going to go do a game right after that. You know, he got the broadcasting career.
Mm-hmm.
And he say, man, you know, I'm going to go do a game right after throwing 5 interceptions and them losing. I would have a problem with that because that's the future. You say he trying to set up for the future, but that's the future. You worry about the future in the future. Right now, this the finals, and you've been doing the podcast all season, and I respected it, and I enjoy watching it. I love the podcast. However, you are down 2-1, and you playing like trash. I think your focus is in the wrong place.
And I don't disagree with that because what you're saying makes sense. But I also bear the question of, DeAngelo, what should Draymond be doing after the game when he get back to his hotel room?
Looking at film, see what the next game, see what he got to do the next game instead of podcast.
Well, he got the next 2-3 days off.
And he kind of addressed that.
You know,
he's going to look at film.
He's going to look at
He
film.
did address that. However, I feel like,
let me ask you. Check it.
damn the film, you need to be in the gym shooting free throws and shooting layups.
He
Because you
damn sure need to be
smoked
shooting
every
somewhere.
layup you shot,
Bruh.
and you bricked every free throw the game before that. So, damn the film and the podcast. If you can't sleep, you need to put a Nerf hoop in your room or something and shoot you some foul shots.
It's weird because they always speak of how Draymond is the heart and soul of the team and everything. But right now, he's looking like more of a liability
He's
on both sides of the ball.
definitely a liability.
You know, Williams for Boston, they making him look way smaller than he really is. You know what I'm saying? At one point, Draymond has a significant paint presence, even though he's probably the smallest big man on the court.
Right.
But they are making him look way smaller.
And Brown made him look way slower.
Easily. So I think his focus definitely needs to be redirected. But I personally don't got a problem with him podcasting because him podcasting could be a way of decompressing. You know what I'm saying?
I don't have a problem with him podcasting because you got a freedom of choice to do what the hell you want to do. I got a problem with you podcasting after you scored 2 points, gave out 3 assists, and got 4 rebounds and fouled out.
Yeah, I don't think he would focus
The
on
man
that.
got more fouls than he got made field goals in the series.
That's crazy.
And he got more podcasts. He done recorded more podcasts than he done scored points throughout the whole series.
So what about Steve Kerr, man? Steve Kerr been making some questionable decisions this finals, and it seems to be uncharacteristic. What do you think about his decision making? I'm gonna start with you, DeAngelo.
I don't know, man. Kerr just been trying to get Boston rattled, but he can't do it. They too strong. They too strong. So he need to go back to the basis of being a coach. He just trying to sub and do things. It ain't working with Boston, man. Boston ain't playing no games.
So let's go with the term. If was a fifth guru, if you was Steve Kerr, what changes would you make in the lineup?
First and foremost, I would keep my shooters on the floor while they're hot.
Okay.
If you hot, you're going to stay on the floor till you prove that you're not hot. We talked about this Saturday when we shot the podcast, and I explained how he's taking the shooters out of rhythm. Golden State right now in this series, the only thing that can save them is the shooting.
Right.
They're not going to out-rebound Boston. You're not going to be more physical than Boston, even though Draymond is trying to be a bully and show that he's more physical. Well, Boston is the more physical and more athletic team, right? So if your shooters are hitting the shots, you got to keep them on the floor until they show that they're tired.
So what can they do to match up with Boston's physicality?
Nothing.
that's
You got to outshoot them.
See, I think that if you you got to make specific changes. Like, for instance, I would add Iguodala to the lineup based on his experience and his ability to play defense. Not for his offensive game, even though I know his offensive game can show up at times.
Right.
But I would definitely implement him a little more now, especially when you got to take your shooters off the court. Because I get it, when your shooters are off, you might not when they're off the floor, you might not score as many. But it don't matter if you are preventing them from scoring as many.
Right.
You know.
He tried that with Gary Payton.
You see, Gary Payton is different because the stage is different for him. You know what I'm saying? Like that stage go a long way. And he even looked timid when he was playing.
Exactly.
You know, so I definitely would look at making sure that if I got to take a shooter off, I'm putting a shooter on. So it'll be a 3-man rotation: Jordan Poole, Steph Curry, Klay Thompson.
Gotcha.
You know, and then I would make sure that I got aggressive defenders in the game to cover the perimeter, because believe it or not, it seemed like Boston is working Golden State the way Golden State worked everybody else.
Right, and see that's the difference right now in the series. Boston is the more athletic and the more physical team, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if they're hitting their shots at the level of Golden State can't match up,
Right.
right? If you looked at game 2, the difference was Boston couldn't hit the shot,
Right.
right? And Golden State was hitting their shots. Golden State has been hitting their shots. But if Boston matches them on the three-point line or supersedes them on the three-point line,
Mm-hmm.
and they're out-rebounding them, and they're scoring more points in the paint, it's nothing they can do, especially when you keep subbing your shooters off the floor when they're hot.
That's gonna hurt him in the long run if he don't correct that. But I'm pretty sure he's sitting somewhere.
And Jordan Poole's selling the people out, too.
Yeah, I've noticed that Jordan Poole is doing a lot of offensive flopping. You know, where he is shooting the ball, and when he's taking these shots, he's falling on the ground. You know, he's trying to draw a foul, but he's trying to draw a foul when he's pulling up from 3-pointer with 2 seconds left on the shot clock, which they know they're not gonna call that. You know what I'm saying? They know he's just throwing it up. DeAngelo, what changes would you make if you was Kirk?
Just like the guru said, just keep the shooters in when they hot, man. Let the shooters shoot. It's nothing too much to that. Keep them in, let them keep firing it up, and see what happens, man. Go down with your shooters.
And that's what they're good at. That's what they win at.
That's what got you here.
Yeah.
And that's what got you the titles that you got. The ability to make 3 points add up more than 2.
Yep.
Simple as that.
That's a fact.
All right, so let's step a little past the NBA Finals and let's go to NBA history. I'm gonna start with you, DeAngelo. I want to know your 12-man team.
All-time
All
NBA
time.
12-man roster so that we don't have this problem. A 12-man roster that you could coach to go 82-0 and win the finals.
82.
This is what I got. I got Isaiah Thomas. That's my one. Starting. This is my starting.
This your starting
Okay.
lineup.
Isaiah,
That's my
Kobe.
favorite player.
Kawhi, Weber, and Olajuwon.
That's your starting 5.
That's my starting 5. And then
Okay.
I got Allen Iverson, Ray Allen, Larry Bird, Kevin Garnett, and Patrick Ewing. And then my 2 reserves is Rod Strickland and Penny Hardaway.
Oh my gosh, he's so
And
disrespectful.
you are. And look.
Yeah.
Hey, listen. Now, I'm gonna give y'all a
We gonna
little
beat the
history
behind it, nothing.
because I know y'all gonna grind my man up in the comments on YouTube. This was one of the best point guards I ever seen in my life play the game of basketball. So I believe his basketball IQ is very high, but I do have to question it at this moment. The man IQ is under investigation, and we might have to strip him from being a basketball man.
hey,
Give
that
me
12,
the
that's a
reason
strong
why your 12. How do your 12 lack Michael Jordan?
And LeBron.
And I don't think you mentioned
like-
Shaq.
No Magic.
Magic.
I'm like, come on. We talking about Ray Allen,
Mhm.
Isaiah,
Isaiah,
Alright,
my
so look,
favorite
I
player,
got-
one of my
alright,
favorite
so
players of all time.
This is what I got. I got Kobe over LeBron. I got Isaiah over Magic. And then I got I say
How did
Kawhi.
Rod Strickland make the team?
Rod Strickland. That's my favorite point guard. I had to put him on the floor.
I
That's my favorite
Isaiah,
point
my
guard.
favorite point guard, and I left
Rod.
him off the floor.
Rod, I had to put Rod up there because when I started going to the games, when he was playing with the Wizards,
Mm-hmm.
man, couldn't nobody stop
And
Rod.
Rod a bad boy.
And I just threw him. And Penny, You know, you got to go with Penny.
I ain't mad at Penny.
Yeah, Penny.
That
Penny
team
could've
ain't
been.
going 82-0.
So I got Bird. I mean, come on, we got Garnett. Like, who? I got Kawhi on Jordan. I got Elijah Wan
You got Kawhi over Jordan.
to guard him.
No, why is Jordan not on your team?
I don't like Mike. I don't like
Okay,
Mike.
well, just let the people know that you're not a Mike fan.
I don't think Mike gonna be good with other superstars.
All right, now
You know what I'm
give me. He was good with the Dream Team.
Hey, and I'm gonna make sure that
Against who?
I put out our
I
12.
got that.
And
But I want you to replay that 12 one time for me.
Isaiah Thomas,
Starting
Kobe,
point guard, shooting guard.
Kawhi Leonard,
Mm.
Chris Webber at my
Chris
4,
Webber.
and the Dream, Akeem Olajuwon. And then coming off the bench is AI,
Mm-hmm.
Ray Allen, Larry Bird, Kevin Garnett, and Patrick Ewing. My two
Patrick
reserve,
Ewing,
Rod
one of my
Strickland
favorite centers.
and Penny Hardaway.
He's not on
Let's
my team.
play basketball, baby.
hey,
Let's play basketball.
Who you got, Avery? Who is your?
we going to you, Guru.
Nah, who is your? The Guru is always last. Who is your 12?
Let's play
Because
basketball.
my man 12 might
Listen.
get beat in the Boo Williams Elite Tournament.
All right, I give you my 12. My starting 5 is gonna consist of Steph Curry at the point,
Mm-hmm.
Jordan at the 2, LeBron at the 3, Tim Duncan at the 4, and Shaq at the 5.
Yours ain't too much different from mine. Starting 5.
Bench wise, I got point guard wise Magic. 2 guard, I got Kobe. For the 3, I got KD. For the 4, I got the Dream. And then for the 5, I got believe it or not, Yao Ming.
Trying to get some China, some China podcast.
I ain't mad. If y'all over in China, man, the man just shout out Yao Ming, man. Put Yao Ming
Get y'all subscriptions
on his all-time NBA roster.
And then 2 reserves, I got Dwayne Wade at 1, and then AI at the other.
I thought you had AI in your backup. Who was your backup?
No, I had Magic as my point guard, Kobe.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? And then KD at the 3. Olajuwon at the 4, and Yao Ming at the 5. That's an 82-0 team right there, bro.
That team might go.
82.
That team might go. It might win 7 to 8 games.
I don't see nobody beating us. Who gonna beat us? Who gonna guard anybody on that team?
Y'all might win 7 to 8. Y'all might win. You gonna win the championship. But
Absolutely.
You might win. I could put together a team that's gonna beat you in the championship.
Well, who you got? Guru.
For one, I got Magic at the starting point.
Okay.
Right.
Magic can't shoot, but okay.
He don't need to shoot. I got MJ
At the 2.
at the 2. I got King James at the 3. I got Tim Duncan at the 4. And I got Shaq at the 5. That's why I say our starting 5 won't much different.
Okay.
Other than I had Magic at the point.
Okay.
Right? Then on the bench, I got AI at the 1. Kobe at the 2. KD, KG, and the Dream.
Okay, that's not bad.
And my reserves is Steph and no. Let me replay my second unit.
Okay.
My second unit is AI, Kobe, KD, KG, and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Okay.
Okay. That's better.
And my reserves is Steph and Olajuwon.
Okay.
That's a 12-man roster, man. You got the Dream, you got Kareem, and you got Shaq. You got KD, KG, Tim Duncan, LeBron as your forwards. And you got Magic, Steph, Kobe, MJ as your guards.
Do you realize that with my starting 5, no matter who hands the ball is in, they're gonna score.
Do you?
Period.
Now, this what I want you to do. I want you to play back what you just said about these current NBA finals when you said that Stephen Curry was a defensive liability. Magic gonna back the man down from half court all the way under the basket. When somebody try to help, he gonna no look to whoever's available.
Listen, reality is number one, I probably wouldn't. I probably run a zone.
We playing with the no zone rules.
No, we can't. We
That's
can't.
what I need to know. Are we playing in this time of day NBA or back in the day NBA?
It's
All time
Rules
rules
is
go to
rules.
old rules.
no. You can't just put old rules on
We
it.
can't
I'm
put
saying.
new rules on it because these new rules ain't been in play longer than the old rules.
You put whatever rules.
All right, whatever rules we playing in, whatever rules y'all
ain't
want to
got no
play in to make
3-point
y'all
shooters.
team.
Y'all don't
Who?
got no. Y'all
I
just
got
got
Steph.
one. That's
I got
just one.
I got the 3-point shooter. What do you mean?
It's one.
Everybody else can score at will.
I put Kobe on Steph.
Listen.
He's out of there.
Kobe,
Now what you gonna do?
Kobe can try to guard Steph, but at the end of the day,
If you put Kobe on Steph, who gonna guard MJ?
exactly.
Kawhi.
Who
Bruh.
guarding King James?
King James.
Going back to that list now, my man. Going back through that list, cause
I know Rod Strickland.
Rod Strickland ain't gonna get no minutes in that game. He gonna be one of them reserves that don't touch the floor.
He gonna come in and shoot the tech
Okay,
and get
so
off the
what
court.
I do? Hold on. I put Kobe on Mike. I put Kawhi on LeBron, and I put Isaiah on Steph.
That's a good matchup.
That's
That
not
works.
not bad, but again, as you can see in this entire finals right now, Steph is an anomaly. Steph will run off a screen and don't stop running, and he'll shoot the ball and keep running.
So he checking Zeke though on the other side of the court. He come. What he's gonna like? Tell me who's stopping Isaiah, Kobe, Kawhi, and Webber. I'm talking about the passing.
Now Webber, hold
Webber,
on. I don't know.
Passing
Webber's
Webber is your weak
The
link.
passing Webber.
Webber is
The passing.
Webber.
Webber can pass, but
Yeah,
You talking about
Dream.
Michigan Webber that called the timeout when goddamn he ain't had no more
with no
time.
timeouts left,
Yeah.
Man, basketball IQ on 0.
bruh. I don't think Webber is a top 75 player.
He definitely not a top 50.
He might be a top 75
Now-
power forward.
Now, who's not a top 75 player is Rod Strickland.
He ain't a top 75 nothing.
He the top 175 players.
Rod sleeping. They sleeping on Rod.
I like Rod, man.
Come on.
I'm a Rod
Come on,
Strickland
basketball.
guy.
Come on, basketball people.
But I
Back
can
me
name,
up. Back me up with that Rod
you,
Strickland pick.
I can name you 25 point guards better than Rod Strickland.
Oh wow. Mm-mm.
Easily. I mean, listen, Derek Fisher was probably better than Rod Strickland.
No, I ain't gonna do that.
No.
That's the hey.
No,
Baron Davis
don't-
was better than
don't
Rod
be-
Strickland.
Don't be a prisoner.
Baron
of the
Davis
moment.
was better than Rod
Rod
Strickland.
Strickland. I'm telling you, Rod Strickland go hard, man. Watch what I tell you. I'm gonna have somebody backing me up on these comments.
I don't
Come on,
think
dog.
nobody gonna back you up with
Back-
Rod Strickland
Back my fan, Rod.
and Chris Webber
Come on.
and your top 12 NBA players of all time.
Man, that is
Larry Bird, yeah, I can go for. All the rest of them
got
guys,
three.
I can go
got Ray
for.
Allen and Bird.
Ray
I'm
Allen,
shooting
they ain't gonna
threes.
back you up on with Ray Allen either.
yeah. Listen,
It's hard to shoot threes when you being defended. Like these
Right.
ain't gonna be no wide
Ray-
open
Ray-
threes
Ray
like
Allen-
the people like
Ray
that.
Allen
Jesus,
is
I'm
not
talking
doing what
about
Steph do.
Jesus, man.
Steph shoot the ball in a way where you can't really guard it. If he get a millisecond open, he gonna shoot it, and his release is so quick. Which Ray Allen got a quick release too, but Ray Allen still got a spot up. Steph don't got a spot up.
He got a horse team.
Yeah, exactly. If we
Got your
standing
team
in one
playing
place,
horse. You got a team playing
Whoa,
horse
wait.
on
Hey,
33.
I can't wait to the
Yeah.
comments. This is a sleeper team, and I'm telling you,
they damn sure sleep.
three-point shooter, y'all just got one.
Your team
person
might not
shooting
even make the
threes.
playoffs.
Y'all just got one 3-point shooter on
Listen,
y'all team.
we got killers. LeBron and Jordan alone is the
Come
top
on.
top two in NBA history.
I don't know.
Because
I don't know.
Jordan
I don't-
didn't shoot threes, don't mean he can't shoot
LeBron
threes.
need the ball. So LeBron, whoever, LeBron is the point guard. He ain't go. Him and Magic ain't go. They go bump heads with the ball.
They don't play together. I mean, they played together on his team, but
Mhm.
Oh, they ain't on you- okay,
on my
okay.
team, they
Who's your point guard?
Steph.
Okay.
So
okay.
I mean, your team works with LeBron is
Right.
your point forward.
Right.
But if you realize Jordan played with a point forward in Pippen, so he know how to play off the ball,
Right. Exactly.
right? And LeBron, he gonna have no choice but to play off the ball because you playing with goddamn Magic and Jordan, nigga. You
Man,
better get
so
on
You
it.
want, so you want LeBron to take the back seat to Magic?
Yeah,
So Magic vision outweighs LeBron by far, right? But LeBron body size, his
That's
body
gonna be rough.
type goes
That's
a long way.
You know how many alley-oops he gonna throw to
We talking
LeBron?
about King James.
We talking about Magic.
I wouldn't have Magic and LeBron in the game at the same time.
Now that's a conflict of interest. I agree. However, that size is unmatched. You
Definitely can be.
You got Jordan, Magic, LeBron, Shaq, and Tim Duncan on the floor together.
All I know is
Physically, you can't match up.
you get the first quarter stuff from the first game one, where he can't miss. You know, it don't matter what Magic do, he won't be able to keep up because Magic could go down and score every time, but Magic's scoring 2-pointers, and everybody know 2 versus 3 always gonna win.
You got a good roster though. Your roster just your starting lineup was just flipped by one player. With
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't know what my man.
Come on,
here
y'all.
is
Come on.
thinking, man.
Show me
But
some
we're gonna
love,
let the
man.
people in the comments decide, man. Who
Hey.
is your
Hey,
all-time 12-man roster? We want to see your 12-man roster, and if I see one person other than my man with Rod Strickland and Chris Webber and Ray Allen on the all-time top 12
All-time. He said that
NBA
out loud.
players, I'm going to take back what I said about my man losing his basketball IQ.
Hey, man, I tell you one thing. Post those 12-man rosters. Let us know what you got. And guess what? You never know. Top roster might get a prize pack. With that said, hey, we got some NFL coming up. Bunch of off-season moves for the Rams. And then we got some boxing. So let's take a break. In the meantime, we'll be back. Betmoorsports. Peace.
y'all ain't had to drag me.
Welcome back to the Betmoorsports podcast. I am your host, Avery Fuller, with my co-host, Steven Troutman Bay, but you can call him.
The Guru.
And we got DeAngelo Freeman, live and direct, one of the big entrepreneurs out in our area in Norfolk, Virginia. And guess what? It's time to talk some NFL football, baby.
I'm glad we talking NFL. Why you keep fluffing this Green Bay Packer jersey up like them people is Super Bowl contenders or something?
He is fluffing it up, but if I recall, they had to play San Francisco last year.
Don't remind me. Don't remind me.
And
Don't remind me.
if he do remind you, remind him who the Guru had his money on.
Yeah, the Guru had his money on San Francisco. And if I recall, Aaron Rodgers is 0-5 against San Francisco. So I'm just going to leave
In
that.
the playoffs.
Yeah, in the playoffs. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Absolutely. Regular season don't count. Remember? Said that
Right.
last week.
Yeah, I did.
So one of the biggest things that stood out for me is that DK Metcalf, he won a new deal, and he did not show up at the Seahawks training.
Show him the money.
Mandatory camp. Are you going to give him the money, though, Guru?
Show him the money.
Okay, so show him the money. Let's say you is the coach. What kind of contract you going to offer DK?
Russell Wilson left Seattle.
Mm-hmm. So you got Tyler.
There's no beast mode in Seattle.
Okay.
DK Metcalf is your best player on this roster. Yes,
So
by far.
so over Tyler, what's his last name?
Tyler Lockett.
Tyler Lockett.
Did you know? Did you have to ask what DK Metcalf last name was? No, you didn't.
That's because he's a topic of discussion.
But either way, Tyler Lockett can't hold DK Metcalf jock scrap.
Oh, my gosh.
Okay.
I completely disagree with that. I believe Tyler Lockett's a much better receiver. What about you, DeAngelo?
Who's throwing him the ball this year?
Geno Smith.
You might throw him the ball, but either way, whoever throw him the ball, DK Metcalf presents more of a problem than anybody on that team.
He didn't last year.
Physically.
Last year he didn't. Last year it was all Tyler. Last year it was Russell Westbrook throwing bombs to Tyler, not DK.
We're gonna scratch that and go back to Russell Wilson. You said Russell Westbrook.
Oh shit! Blame it on the goose, not the goose, but you know. Shit, I done fucked that up. But all right, so
Russell Westbrook won't pump bomb to nobody.
DeAngelo, who you got?
With
What would you pay DK to stay?
ooh,
And matter of fact, let's simplify it.
I'm not getting him cheater money.
We're gonna give him a 5-year deal, but how much?
he right under Cheetah. He under Cheetah.
I can't put a value on his contract, but I'm gonna say I'm gonna pay him in the top 6.
In the top 6?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
He's not getting Devontae Adams money. He's not getting cheater money. He might be in the top 5. Nah, top 6. Hell no.
Top 10 maybe.
Only reason, no, hell no. Top 10.
Bro, has DK Metcalf had 1,000-yard receiving
Five-
season?
Did you have to ask that? Did you really ask that question?
I'm asking.
Yes.
He has?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, we're gonna have to fact check that.
You
Hey,
don't.
if you can, fact check that and post that in the comments, please. Because I don't recall Tyler Lockett maybe, but I don't recall DK Metcalf having a 1,000-yard receiving season.
DK Metcalf is the best player on Seattle.
He's not. But
So
we can
where do
agree
you
to
put
this.
Tyler Lockett at on any other team and he be that guy? Like, DK Metcalf is a baby Megatron.
Don't confuse DK Metcalf's potential with his production.
Right. That's what I was.
That's the difference. We are talking about his actual production. He can be a baby Megatron, but he hasn't been. He hasn't been by far. Nowhere in comparison. That's all I'm saying. It's one of those things where Tyler Lockett has been much more productive than him, especially last season.
2020, DK Metcalf had 1,300 yards, 10 touchdowns.
What about 2021?
You asked, did he have a 1,000-yard season?
okay.
I said yes.
What did he have in 2021?
You asked, did he have a 1,000-yard season?
What did he have in
And my
2021,
answer
Guru?
was yes. 2021, he had 900 yards, 7 touchdowns. But I don't. It's not showing me how many games he played.
I think he played all of them, actually.
2021, he had 967 yards. 2019, he had 900 yards. He only started 15 games. He had 58
Out of 16?
catches. Yeah.
You do know Tyler Lockett last year had 1,175 yards. Matter of fact, the last 3 years, he had over 1,000 yards.
That don't make him better.
What?
That don't make you better. That just means that you the quarterback's favorite receiver and you're the least likely to be double teamed.
That means that you are the most reliable. Plain and simple. Most of the passes he caught, he was double teamed. He caught bombs. He literally caught bombs. It's Tyler Lockett. Tyler Lockett had 3,000-yard receiving seasons, and then one prior he had 965.
I'm not saying Tyler Lockett is a bum.
Right.
He's good. He can't go nowhere and be the number one receiver.
He was the number one receiver on the team he was on. He's the number one receiver right now.
No, he's not.
Come on, man.
DK Metcalf is the number one
Hey,
receiver.
hey.
Don't nobody go to sleep and game plan for Tyler Lockett.
Don't nobody go sleep in game plan for DK Metcalf. That's all I'm saying. Listen, it's a difference.
I got Lockett too.
DK Metcalf had a good season.
You got Lockett being the number one receiver on Seattle.
For that team.
Okay.
For that team. I got Lockett over Metcalf because Metcalf, it's easy to get in his head, man. Them corners, man, they get in his head and he be everywhere.
He want to have blue hair and shit.
Now, I will agree with you on that because it's easy to get in his head because he got the Draymond Green syndrome where he want to be the bully, right? So if you get physical with him and show him that you ain't afraid of him being the bully, then it's easy to rattle him, right? Tyler Lockett just go out and go about his business and go about his work. Tyler Lockett is a good receiver. And what you said made a whole lot of sense about DK Metcalf's potential. Tyler Lockett is exceeding his potential. And DK Metcalf is not kind of grown into his potential to the degree that, but he still is the most double team receiver on Seattle.
He should be. He the biggest receiver. He one of the biggest receivers in the league.
So if I'm being, this go back to the comment that Draymond Green said about KD and Steph.
What?
He said, yeah, you got the MVP of the finals, but Steph got double teamed 9 times more than you did each game.
Listen, the reality is it's one of those things where, which that makes sense, right? But it's one of those things where you can't double team KD. So in the event, I'm gonna give KD what he gonna get, and I'm gonna take Steph out the game because I got to take one of them out.
Right.
And the only one I can take out is Steph. I can't take KD out of the game. KD gonna get whatever he want whenever he want it. So of course I'm gonna double team Steph, and I'm gonna take him out, and then I'm gonna let KD score 100 points if he can do that. He can't do that.
So on the 49ers, you would rather have Tyler Lockett over DK Metcalf?
No.
On the Green Bay Packers, you would rather have Tyler Lockett over DK Metcalf? So what the hell is we talking about?
Because you're asking a question based upon potential.
I'm asking. Okay.
I'm thinking about potential when I'm picking up DK Metcalf, not based on what he is now.
You're basing it not only on potential, but the
it's
fact
solely
that
potential.
If I put DK Metcalf on a team, you can no longer double team Debo Samuel.
I wanted DK Metcalf over Debo. Literally.
Did you want Tyler Lockett over Debo?
At the time, absolutely. I would have preferred him. But now it's a different story.
I don't even want Tyler Lockett on the Giants with our current receiver.
Oh, man, you tripping. Y'all need Tyler Lockett.
We don't.
All right. We'll see if you say the same thing in November. All right, so
but show the man the money, man.
While DK Metcalf didn't show up to training camp, and I would give him a deal that would be more 5 years, $100 million, maybe 5 years, maybe $80 million. You know what I'm saying?
I can go for that. I say top 6. I ain't giving him the highest paid receiver in the league.
No, nowhere near it.
He hasn't earned that.
Question.
I'm not paying a player based upon potential.
Is he still on his rookie contract, or this is
he's still on his rookie contract, but this is the last year of it.
Right, this is the last year.
So he pretty much
he
in
want a new
negotiations. But while DK is not present, guess who is? And guess who I said?
Let me guess. Debo.
Yes. Guess what? I believe that before the season start, there's going to be an announcement that's going to say Debo Samuels resigns with the San Francisco 49ers. And if you look at episode maybe 6, 7, take your time and take a look at it. You tell me which one it is. I said Debo not going nowhere.
I never thought he was going anywhere. How much you gonna pay him?
That's my question too.
So I think we're gonna pay him based on what he agreed to do. Right now he don't want to be a running back, but if he agreed to take on that role, then we're gonna pay him what he wants because he agreed to take on that role, and that's gonna be a part of his play. Now, if he don't agree to take on that role, personally, he's not a $25 million receiver. He's a $25 million two-way player, but he's not a $25 million receiver. $18, $19 million, maybe. You know what I'm saying? Based on his production, his yards after the catch is unmatched. I don't think there's anybody in the league that got more yards after the catch than he do. But the reliability that he has when we are within the 30-yard line to get to the end zone is ridiculous. So I feel like if he is okay with taking on that role, because we only really run him when we are on our side of the field. So if he agreed to take on that role, I feel like we're going to pay him the $25 million. We ain't going to pay him Cheetah money because Cheetah is a wide receiver and he's a game changer. But he has the potential to bring an element to the game that separates him from every other receiver.
So he top what far as his pay?
As far as his pay, he should be top 5.
Top 5 okay.
For a receiver if he gonna play the two-way role. If he's not gonna play the two-way role, then top 10. What's your thoughts?
My thoughts is there was a term, cheetah money.
Uh-huh.
But Cooper Kupp got some money too.
Listen, Cooper Kupp is just a nice person. Cooper Kupp is a nice person because they extended him 3 additional years on top of the 2 years he's currently at for $80 million. 3 additional years. I feel like Cooper Kupp was the best receiver in the league this year. Or last year that just passed.
He was the triple crown guy.
He literally could have got the max contract that you could possibly get for a receiver. But he actually said, and I watched him say this post-game, that he ain't trying to take all the money. He want to leave some money on the table so they can get some help. And you got to be a real person to have that mentality when your career, the professionalized side of it and the way that we present it is based on money.
Well, I mean, me and DeAngelo had this conversation kind of before you got here.
Mm-hmm.
And it kind of centered around where the hell was they going to get the rest of the money? He still got over $20 million a year for the extension. You just signed Aaron Donald to the highest paid contract for any player outside the quarterback position. Jalen Ramsey getting paid top 3, top 4 cornerback money.
As he should.
And then you still got your quarterback.
Listen, they got a lot of people. Well, they paying a lot of people. I think the biggest thing with them is, can they offensive line hold up? You know what I'm saying? Because they ain't gonna really have that much money to be paying these offensive linemen to stay for a significant amount of time. And I think that's gonna stand out more than anything because I don't know about y'all, but when Matthew Stafford has that substantial pressure, he's a bum.
Is Odell coming back?
So I'm glad you said that because I read that Odell crashed Coach wedding, and Coach said, if you're going to crash my wedding, then you got to re-sign with us.
That's all part of the politics in sports, man.
Hey.
The man invited the man to the wedding. How the hell he crashed the wedding?
Hey, he said he crashed it, and a part of him crashing it is he got to re-sign. That means that, number one, they want him back. Mm-hmm. If they want him back, just to be honest, they're going to get him back. Because they selling the chance of a two-peat. They not going to two-peat. No chance. But they selling that opportunity. And now they got Aaron Donald back.
Did you say no chance? They two-peat?
No chance.
Did you see all the acquisitions and money and things that they did in the offseason to repeat?
Okay. Let me ask you something. How big of a difference is Allen Robinson from Robert Woods?
It's a big difference.
Is it a substantial difference to where it's going to determine whether or not they're successful?
It's not that big of a substantial difference.
It's not.
However, it's a big difference.
Both of them will be the number 2.
Yeah, but Allen Robinson been a number 1 his whole career.
Right. Not no more. And I don't think he'll ever be a number 1 again.
No, not with Cooper Kupp on the team.
Even if he leave and go to another team, if he get traded to another team, he'll never be another number 1.
He'll be the number 1 on the Green Bay Packers.
Oh, well, yeah, that'll be easy.
No shit. Leave him alone.
So, what you think about the sign of DeAngelo of Cooper Kupp, them extending him? Now he got 5 years on the deal, and it totals about $110 million. The deal itself, the extension was 3 years for $80 million.
He put in the work. A lot of these players, they want the money based on what they say they're going to do.
Right.
He actually put in the work.
Right.
So
And listen,
fair ransom.
if it weren't for him, they wouldn't have won the Super Bowl, just like if it weren't for Jaquaski Tart, we wouldn't have lost to them. But that's a story for another time.
Man, stay with a shoulda, woulda, coulda.
Hey, life is about shoulda, woulda, couldas.
This man,
That's how you learn. You learn lessons from shoulda, woulda, couldas. Wrong, right?
But you do this every episode when it comes to the 49ers.
Hey, I'm all about
everything
lessons.
is shoulda, woulda, coulda with y'all.
Hey,
When it should be that you didn't because you didn't.
no, we coulda. That's all that matters.
And you shoulda.
We shoulda.
And you woulda.
All right, so well, we got Cooper Kupp and Aaron Donald. They both got deals. Aaron Donald deal was a record deal, by the way. He's the highest paid player in the NFL outside of quarterbacks.
Correct.
Oh, wow.
Which is well deserved. I believe we had a debate last time about Aaron Donald and his value. And don't get me wrong, Aaron Donald has value.
I
But
seen
I
one that-
stand by what I said.
I seen one of the comments where the people say, "Do you need to be drug tested?" Did people drug test you for that comment you made?
Yeah, they tried to drug test me. As soon as I walked in the building, I was told to report to HR. But, you know, I stand by what I was saying because, again, 8 years to 3 is a big difference. And if you get Nick Bosa 8 years, based on the way he's been playing, he's going to be a far better player than Aaron Donald.
Stay tuned. We will see.
We will. Absolutely. And with that said, hey, Deshaun Watson is probably one of the best young black quarterbacks in the NFL. And he was signed to the Cleveland Browns for a $280 million fully guaranteed deal, the only one of its kind. My man is getting paid, but he also getting sued. And as of this last week that just passed, he got a new lawsuit added on top of the 23 that he's had. To me, I feel like that might be a problem. DeAngelo, what you think about those 24 lawsuits?
Man, it's gonna be hard to shake that from public opinion.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's the opinion that matter nowadays.
Public opinion, and that's what's dry that locker room, because everybody gonna have to answer questions about it.
Every time. That's the worst part, man. I hate that the team gonna have to deal with his, off-field stuff.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But my man even said that he had at least 66 massage therapists. Listen, he had 66, and I'm just speaking freely. If he had 66 and 24 of them is suing him right now, that means that, 36 of them are pretty much saying, or no, not 40 of them are pretty much saying, 42 of them are pretty much saying, well, he ain't did nothing to us.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Me
It's
too.
number one, why the hell he got so many goddamn massage therapists? That's a lot of massage. I don't know how many massages he need, but if it's me, I'm going to probably either stick with the same massage therapist and just fly them out wherever I'm at. You know what I'm saying? But my man got to find a new one everywhere he go.
You gotta try all the happy endings to see which happy ending is the best.
Hey, but 66 happy endings? How happy can the endings be?
The 65 might not have been so happy
Gosh.
because he
That
got a
is
new
terrible.
allegation, right? And my man, look. Let me be first to say that there's nothing against the law about getting a happy ending. If the person want to give you a massage and the person will say, do you want a happy ending? If you say yeah, and I decide to pay you extra for the happy ending, that is not against the law. So he broke no laws. Let's be clear.
Okay.
He broke no laws. He didn't rape anyone. He didn't force anyone to do anything.
Okay.
Right? So maybe the first 65 wasn't the ending he was looking for.
Listen, I think he's just trying to find different endings in different dimensions. He just looking for random endings. I wonder if your ending can be better than the last ending.
Exactly.
Because, boy, that's a lot of damn
If
endings.
the allegations didn't occur, he might have went to 165.
Oh, my God.
He must have been like, you know how they'll be like, hey, look, he like happy endings right there, because they probably was massaging everybody, but he probably was the only one that said, yeah, I'll do it. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, think about it, though. If you're a massage therapist, right, and I'm going to speak directly to you, DeAngelo. If you're a massage therapist and Deshaun Watson come to you and ask for a happy ending, you would get one.
Pause.
Yeah, please pause that. What in the world did that question come from? They might need to drug test you again. The man ain't getting no happy endings from no men now. I forgot. You graduated from Nova State.
Oh, that's funny.
You're a Nova State graduate. Them boys over there at Nova State getting happy endings too.
Oh, my gosh. Oh, they are. That is sad. Your Honor, I withdraw the question.
Thank you.
So with that in mind, right, let me ask y'all this question. Deshaun Watson has pretty much confirmed that he's met with about 66 massage therapists, and 24 of them have lawsuits against him. Do you think that even though they guarantee him $280 million, should Cleveland still let him play this year? DeAngelo.
I mean, until proven, you know what I'm saying? We got to see where it goes, because a lot of it could just be exaggeration and, just to see.
Well, they're not charging him with nothing. So from a legal standpoint, he's not in any type of trouble.
Okay, so.
They're just trying to get money from him now. I guess that's why they gave him $280 million.
Right. That makes sense now. So.
Now, one thing that I read is that he offered $100,000 to each one of them.
Oh,
and they turned it down. Which, I mean, I guess they feel like they can get more. So it's more of a risk to get more than $100,000. I don't know. It's really weird.
Right.
It's a weird situation. They lost in court, and they still want to kind of push the lawsuit. And I don't know what make them feel like they'll win that lawsuit, but it's, in my opinion, it has a way of being, I'm going to use the term unfair. Right? Because, number one, the NFL launched an investigation, and they're trying to determine now whether they're going to suspend him for his code of conduct, which I understand because he's supposed to be a professional, and everything he do outside, off the field, is a representation of the NFL.
Right.
But I also feel like if they did not find him guilty of anything, why are we still finding him guilty? You know what I'm saying? Like, if by law he hasn't been he's been exonerated of any guilt or wrongdoing, why is it that the NFL is deciding to still investigate and determine whether or not they want to suspend him?
Public opinion.
You're 100% right.
Public opinion. They want to make sure that he's not, you know what I'm saying, like he's hurting their brand. Because when you have these women coming to the games, man, they make them signs, and the NFL sponsors, they don't want nothing to do with, women. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like he gotta. I don't know what to tell him. He made a poor decision, and he got a wad.
He made a lot of damn poor decisions.
But how was that a poor decision? The man just wanted to get a happy ending.
But public opinion, though, like
why
are we talking about?
So let's be in fairness. What happened to Robert Kraft? Public opinion, he did the same thing, and he did something more detrimental to him than Deshaun Watson.
But Robert Kraft also got scolded. You know what I'm saying? From a public standpoint,
for a second.
But he's not a black
quarterback.
But so should it be a difference because one is a black quarterback and one is a European owner?
So the problem is,
should that be a difference?
No, it shouldn't be a difference.
It shouldn't be a difference, but the world
there's
that we live
no but if it shouldn't be a difference.
The world that we live in, so we can always look at the hypotheticals and whether it should be or shouldn't be, right? But we can look at also the reality of it, and the reality of it is, it is.
Robert Kraft punishment was nothing, swept under the rug.
Right. That don't matter at this point because Robert Kraft is an old white man. However, the world that we live in,
right.
It don't support what Deshaun Watson is doing.
However, the law is the law. Is Deshaun Watson married?
The law, as we know,
is Deshaun Watson married?
I don't know
that you know of. Is Deshaun Watson married that you know of?
I doubt it.
I don't know that he's married. I don't think he is. So adultery is out of the question, right? So what crime did he commit?
So keep in mind, one of the problems of the law is that the law is not built to support men of our color.
Right.
Period.
I understand all
that. And because of that, we don't want to use law. We don't want to have the law involved because if we got the law involved, my man going to jail.
Right. So the law was involved and he didn't go to jail. Right. So my thing is, we're stating that he made poor judgment. And I can maybe say I agree. However, the man just wanted a happy ending.
Right. But
he didn't force nobody to do anything.
That's the problem. They're saying he forced the happy ending. When you listen, when you are in a massage, right? Naturally, from a professional standpoint, the massage is to go and massage, and you kind of, get whatever's done. But when you turn around and you pull your junk out,
he would
in a massage.
Hold on, have you ever had a full body massage?
I have.
Okay, so
I ain't never turned around and pull my junk out.
No, but the first thing they tell you to do is either get completely naked or get as comfortable as possible as you want to get. but they give you a cover to cover up. So every time I get a full bottom massage, I'm completely naked.
Do you uncover that cover?
No, that's up to them.
Okay, that's the difference
that's
between
the happy ending.
Right. He uncovered the cover. That's the difference. He uncovered the cover which said, "Give me a happy ending," and I think it's a difference in that regard because, again, when you go somewhere and you're trying to get a professional service, you're supposed to respond professionally.
Right. So
expectations.
that's kind of what Antonio Brown did when he had the lady come over and do the painting for him, and she said he was walking around with his bath towel on, and then just drop the towel, and he walking around ass naked.
You notice that Antonio Brown ain't got no lawsuits pending or none of that.
He
shit,
did.
right?
He did.
Well, he beat that though, right?
He did, and he should beat it too because it's up to you whether you decide whether you want to take that bait or not. You know that I'm the quarterback of the Houston Texans, right? You know that I have hundreds of millions of dollars, right? Mm-hmm. So, of course, you're going to, if I say, voila, here it is, you're going to do what you do, right? That's not a crime.
So, you got to realize that for these women, in that regard, a player of that stature can be intimidating. That's a form of, and he know the level at which he's at. Right. He know the power that he possessed in that regard.
But that's what they're trying to say. They're trying to say with him being the leader of the team. You know what I'm saying? Like that's not the person that's supposed to be.
He's supposed to be an example.
Right. He should be the example for it because you never know who else was part of that was on the team, but they wasn't the quarterback though.
And the other problem is they making him like a damn pervert.
He's definitely a pervert. If you got 60-something people giving you happy endings, you are definitely a pervert. That is beyond the question. You are a pervert, right? But because you're a pervert, don't mean you're not a good quarterback.
Oh, he's a great quarterback. He's just a perverted ass great quarterback, and that's why his ass gets sued by 24 damn women.
He went to Norfolk State.
He went to Norfolk State. He might need to go out there now. Shit, he probably get the happy ending he's looking for. All right, so for everybody that's watching, I just want to kind of make it a point to point out, if you haven't noticed already, that my man DeAngelo, he is a Green Bay Packers fan.
He got the red and white jersey on.
The red and white vintage. And you want to know something? Green Bay has been having a really tough last couple of years, you know, and I just want to know, like, what is your expectations for Green Bay this season? Y'all got Aaron Rodgers back.
Right, so let me point this out because everybody thinks that a wide receiver is something made our team. Aaron Rodgers actually makes wide receivers, man.
Oh, shit.
He's a wide receiver maker. That's bottom line. He's a wide receiver maker, so we ain't missing nobody. Point blank, we ain't missing nobody. So let me just make that clear. He's a wide receiver maker. So whoever we got on our roster, you best believe they go. If they can catch, Aaron Rodgers gonna make them out of.
So what you saying is that Aaron Rodgers made Devontae Adams,
basically.
Holy smoke balls!
So who prior to Devontae Adams did he make that compares to Devontae Adams?
Jordan Nelson.
He made Jordan Nelson. Was Jordan Nelson on the team with Brett Favre?
No.
Okay.
We had
Jordan Nelson was on the same level as Devontae Adams.
He was a rookie when we won the Super Bowl when we beat Pittsburgh. Jordan Nelson was a rookie that year.
Has it ever occurred that maybe Devontae Adams is responsible for a significant amount of Aaron Rodgers' success? Because it's a difference when you are such a security blanket for a quarterback that no matter which way you go on the field, you feel like I could just throw that shit in his vicinity and he gonna catch it.
Pull up our record when Devontae Adams don't play. We have at 83-84% winning percentage when he's not dressed.
Well, what I do know is that last year Devontae Adams caught 123 passes from Aaron Rodgers, which is probably over 50% of his passes. He also had 1,500 receiving yards. The year before that, he caught 115 passes for 1,300, and in 2018, he caught 111 passes.
You know who's throwing that ball to him, though?
But who else do we got to throw the ball to? What other receivers on your team is doing anything outside of Devontae Adams?
We got some new guys. Now, let me say that he's a wide receiver maker. So
No. Tom Brady is a wide receiver maker. Aaron Rodgers is a capitalizer.
Huh?
He capitalized on the opportunities. He know that I could throw the ball to Devontae. When y'all played San Francisco, I'm always bringing San Francisco. I'm sorry. When y'all played San Francisco
Lord.
in the regular season, he was throwing the ball to Devontae Adams in places we knew he was going to be, and Devontae Adams was still there to catch the ball. And no matter who was guarding him, he still threw the ball to
Do
him.
you see the passes that he was making? Who else is going to make those passes to Devontae? We will see when he played for the suit up for the Raiders. You will see the difference in what I'm saying.
So the question is, who else is he going to throw those passes to?
Whoever's on the field, like I'm gonna tell you, our wide receiver core is not strong. We just picked up old boy from Kansas City. What's his name? Not Kansas City,
Sammy Watkins.
Watkins.
You got Sammy Watkins on Green Bay?
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Watch who Aaron Rodgers make that dude out of, man. Watch what I tell you, because he throws the ball where the people's not the defenders, they can't get to it, man. And it's like no other quarterback in the league right now can make those throws, man.
So let me ask you this: with no Devontae Adams, right, and with Aaron Rodgers as your gunslinging quarterback, what are your expectations of Green Bay this season?
how far y'all going?
To be totally honest with you, we probably wild card.
Wild card. So who gonna win the division? There's nobody in the division better. I don't see nobody in the division, even with no Devontae Adams, better than Green Bay in that division.
Well, Chicago.
Yeah. I mean,
Chicago.
I can't really disagree with that in that sense because Justin Fields is in his second year, which means he got some experience. He did pretty well his first year.
I would put Minnesota over Chicago.
You think so?
Yeah.
You like that?
Did you like that, Kirk Cousins? And my nephew probably watch this and be like, damn, he shouted out Minnesota. That was all right.
That is tough.
But I would put Minnesota over Chicago. I still got Chicago being above Detroit.
Wow, that says a lot. For
Chicago done nothing to improve to me.
Listen, I feel like that a first-year quarterback is a substantially different quarterback in their second year.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're a quarterback like Justin Fields, which, let me be clear, we got Trey Lance, but I wanted Justin Fields.
Why do you keep talking about the Niners, bro?
I'm
This is
speaking
not
in
a Niner conversation.
I'm speaking in regards to Justin Fields.
How did he come up?
The whole point
How
is
did Trey Lance come up?
The whole point is based on
Justin
how I
Fields.
feel about Justin Fields.
Right.
Okay.
Right? I'm saying that to say I wanted Justin Fields over Trey Lance. Right? So I'm saying that to say Justin Fields, he is a Deshaun Watson type quarterback. Matter of fact, that's who he made me think of. And at the end of the day, once he once it clicked for him the way it's supposed to, he gonna be a Pro Bowler.
So you saying Justin Fields gonna get 60-something happy endings?
Oh my gosh!
You just say the man of Deshaun Watson type quarterback.
Hey! Oh my
Put that
God!
bone on that dude like that, man.
Oh, they about to investigate Justin
Right,
Fields
right.
because of you. They about to be like, you getting massages?
Not because of me, because you say you compare to Deshaun Watson. But
Man.
I think that Justin Fields and the Bears are still the Bears.
I feel like Kirk Cousins at the end of his rope.
I do too. I feel like Green Bay will win that division, right? Because of the division.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like that Minnesota will be the second best team in that division.
I feel like Justin Jefferson, and this is pushing it, but Justin Jefferson gonna get traded in the middle of the year.
To the Giants?
Hell no! Don't I want to, especially if Daniel Jones the quarterback. If Daniel Jones quarterback,
Ball.
bro, he gonna get every coach fired.
Tyrod. Y'all got Tyrod.
Listen,
right?
Tyrod should be the starter. Point blank, period. Period. I said period. With
If
a L.
Daniel Jones continues to play the way that Daniel Jones has been playing, Tyrod Taylor will be the starting
Well,
quarterback.
what other way does Daniel Jones know how to play?
We will see. We got a new regime in town.
We know
But
what Tyrod
this,
can do.
This ain't about Tyrod and the Giants. This is about the Green Bay Packers.
Absolutely.
Right? So with that being said, where would you rank Aaron Rodgers amongst the greatest quarterbacks of all time?
A number.
Be careful now. The people are watching. You had Rod Strickland in your top 12.
In DJ Khaled words, another one.
Number one. He number fathers. The way, like.
Amongst the all-time. I'm going to repeat this question.
No number
amongst the
one,
all-time quarterbacks.
No number one draft picks.
No, I'm talking about of all-time quarterbacks. Where would you rank Aaron Rodgers? And that sounded like you said number one.
Personally, me, number one.
You acting like Avery now.
Hold on. Wait.
You being
Don't
biased.
you do it. Don't you do it.
You being a homer.
I can't say somebody better than my dude. My dude's still out there playing. Now, once he retire, I'll give you a better
Once he
answer.
That
retire.
sound
Right
biased.
now,
They just sound biased.
right now,
I want your
definitely sound biased.
okay. Let me rephrase the question. I want your unbiased opinion. I want your unbiased opinion. Where would you, a Green Bay Packer fanatic, rank Aaron Rodgers amongst the greatest quarterbacks of all time?
I go Brady, Peyton, then AR.
Okay, that made a little more sense than you saying one.
Yeah.
I disagree with that too, but
it
made a little more
realistic.
sense. It's more realistic than
No.
you saying number one.
Number one, my man got one Super Bowl in his entire career and lost to San Francisco 5 times in the playoffs.
He lost to the Giants too.
Oh,
You know,
we lost to the Giants too.
We owned by fans, man. We need to own them, man.
Yeah. Well, I think y'all
We
the
don't have
perfect
control.
example. Y'all the perfect example of what a team should be, because when you got like an owner or a one person or a group of people running things, you tend to have more issues. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
One thing about y'all is y'all are sold out for the next 10 years
But
for a reason.
It hurt us because we need somebody to actually say, I want that dude, man. Forget, we want the best player available.
That's
But
where the
somebody
politics
not
come in.
owning the team, he really don't care. Like, okay, get him. But an owner that investing his money, he want to win, bro.
I think they put that in the hands of the coaches to a degree, right?
And the GM.
And the
That's what
GM.
I'm saying. The GM, but
But that's what
not
it should
having
be.
an owner. Our GM is like a president. He don't have nobody over him that say, our team ain't looking good, or why we ain't draft him. We don't got nobody.
Well, think about
We
it.
don't have no problems with that.
Why you think Dallas so
drafting.
jacked up? Because they own him trying to be the coach and the GM and everything.
But they go pick up players, even though they go pick players that you be like, okay,
And they fail equally.
that's a fact. But I'm just saying,
Y'all better than Dallas.
our general manager not hiring nobody over his head, it kind of hurting us with our picks, man. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, don't get me wrong. Certain things are questionable, like picking up Jordan Love, without consulting
First round.
with one of the top 10 quarterbacks in NFL history.
But it's no backlash because there's nobody that's owning the team to say,
Oh, it was backlash when Aaron Rodgers was sitting his ass at home saying, I ain't coming. You know what I'm saying?
But other than that, it's no owner, you know what I'm saying, that say, why did you? No, Aaron Rodgers is not talking to an owner.
So
as
the
his buddy, like
GM is
Robert
not being
Kraft.
held accountable.
Right, like Robert Kraft and Brady. Sometimes Brady will go around Belichick and go straight to Robert Kraft.
But you don't think that's a part of the problem? Because when you think about it, Brady did that, and then they ain't win no more. And then Brady left and went to another team and won.
But if Aaron Rodgers had control or had an owner that he can go around the GM to say, look, get me that dude, number one, or trade for this dude.
Here go another example, and I know what the guru gonna say, but I'm gonna use it anyway. New England molded Jimmy Garoppolo, and then they got rid of him based on Tom Brady going to Robert Kraft. When you spent all that time to mold him behind Tom Brady, and because Bill Belichick was probably most likely ready to move on from Tom,
Right.
he decided to go above Belichick's head and say no, and then they traded Jimmy Garoppolo.
That's point
You know what I'm
made.
saying?
That's
So
point
so
made.
that's where that ownership thing can be a gift and a curse, but it also boils down to the owner and their knowledge and what they're gonna do, because some owners just don't know shit and some owners know a
Right.
substantial amount.
And that's what I'm saying. With us, our GM having nobody over him,
Mhm.
and he make a wild pick like getting love, right? He ain't getting ain't nobody to backlash him.
Right. Well, I think for
You know what I'm saying? It's
that
nobody-
love shit was just a bad decision, in the sense of not picking Love being a bad decision, but him not communicating appropriately with.
Ha
his,
Ha Clinton Dix was one of our number one picks. I'm talking about, man. I can go on and on, man. We did like since Aaron Rodgers been there, man. We ain't have no number one wide receiver picks.
man.
No number one. I'm talking about we passed up on Metcalf and people like that, man.
Hey, but y'all go to the playoffs and lose every year, so I mean that's that's pretty.
You know what I'm saying?
know.
Like, come on, man. We get that man, get that man some weapons, man. Get that man some speed.
Well, they gave him Devontae Adams. Let me ask you this: how you
No.
feel about Devontae Adams leaving?
Devontae
Yeah,
Adams.
Devontae Adams was the number one receiver in the NFL.
He was
in his
made
tenure
like.
there.
Do you know what college he come from? Do you know
Fresno State?
Okay. Was he hype coming out of college?
Not at all. But Derek Carr was his quarterback.
Okay, now let me say this. So who made who? Aaron Rodgers made that dude. He's a good route runner. But I'm telling you, you will see who he really is with Derek Carr as his quarterback.
Okay. I mean, listen, you're 100% right. Like, as far as seeing who he is, we're going to see who the cheater really is, too. With
That's a
Tua
fact.
Tagovailoa as his quarterback.
That's
You
a
know what I'm
fact.
saying?
That's a fact.
So, I've learned that every, outside of Tom Brady, and even him at times, every quarterback that's great. Just like in the NBA, how they talk about super teams and shit like that. It's no great player that is just winning championships without other great players.
Right.
And every quarterback need a great person to either throw the ball to or hand the ball off to. And it's just one of those things where name a team that won a Super Bowl that didn't have more than one great player.
I'll wait.
You know, that's just a part of that process. Guru, what you think the impact of Devontae Adams leaving Green Bay gonna be?
I think it's gonna be substantial, not because only Devontae Adams left, but what's the boy name? What's the boy name?
Valdez Scanlon.
Valdez, yeah, him. He left too.
He a fan, you know. He called by his initials.
Right. And I like that because that's what I wanted to call him back. But we're gonna see. I think Devontae Adams, and kind of what DeAngelo said, we're gonna see what Devontae Adams is made of in the NFL without Aaron Rodgers, because Aaron Rodgers is one of the most accurate quarterbacks in NFL history. Right.
Mm-hmm.
He played with Derek Carr in college, so we're gonna see. I just want to see if he can make another receiver
Let's go.
like
That's great,
Devontae
right.
Adams.
I can't
Because
see
he
it
made
happening.
Devontae Adams the number one receiver if we saying that he made him.
Right. I
Right?
get it.
So I still got the Packers winning the division. I
Hey.
still got them not winning the Super Bowl.
You know what I heard Devontae Adams saying? I heard motherfuckers saying they made Ho. Made Ho say, okay, so make another Ho. Hey, let's take a break. We got some NHL, MLB, overrated, underrated, all types of stuff coming back. So tune in to the Betmoorsports podcast. We'll be back. Welcome back to the Betmoorsports podcast. I'm your host again, Avery Fuller, with my co-host Stephen Trotman Bay, a.k.a.
The Guru.
And our special guest in the building today, DeAngelo Freeman, one of the biggest entrepreneurs in the Norfolk area. You better believe it. And
DeAngelo has to step away for a few before we end the show, but I want to get him to kind of touch on his event that's going on this weekend at the Kroc Center, and also get him to touch on a little more about Virtuous Cellular. So you got the floor, Mr. DeAngelo.
Okay, in our community, we having issues with people getting heart attacks, getting all type of virus. So we need to change the way we eat. So at this event, we're going to be educating our people about what to eat, what not to eat. You know what I'm saying? Different things, different ways to boost your immune system with natural products, natural herbs. And basically, we just go have a good time. We're going to have some live music. We're going to have some vendors selling things. And we just giving back to the community with the knowledge that we need, because we need to have the proper knowledge to be able to pass down to different generations. And if we're not eating the right foods, man, I think, it have a lot to do with the youth not getting the proper sleep, not eating properly, and they just out here wilding out. So we want to change that by changing our diets, man, and making it cool to eat the right foods.
That's awesome.
Absolutely.
And with Virtuous Cellular, I came and got some services done from the Virtuous Cellular. But please let the people know what all the services that you provide.
Okay, we got Simple Mobile, Net 10, Page Plus. They all prepaid services. So this is for the customers that can't afford high bills and stuff. We got $40 plans, $20 plans, and we just activate their phones and just keep everybody rolling. So it's like some people that have flip phones or secondary phones, we get a lot of those customers, but it's just based on prepaid, like not having no overhead bill, and people just want to just burn out their phones or whatever. But we specialize in repairing phones now, and we doing it at a fast rate. So we evolving to the speed of the cell phone industry. You know what I'm saying?
Let me ask you this: y'all flash phones, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Any phone, you pretty much unlock it and make it available for. Okay, that's something that is important, because I know it's a ton of people who have issues maybe with their current carrier, and they just want to switch, but they don't want to buy another phone or go into contract or whatever. So that's a good thing to know. And then I got twins. I got 10-year-old twins, and they want phones, and I feel like it might be more beneficial for me to get them a prepaid phone than to get them
basically
a whole plan and a contract, because who they gonna call?
Right. That's what we're here for. That's what we're here for.
That's perfect, man.
I appreciate this opportunity, brother.
Hey, where y'all located?
Appreciate you coming back.
We're mobile. We're mobile. 757-351-5030. We're mobile. We'll come to you. We come to your job. You know what I'm saying?
Oh wow, that's even better.
And we, with the COVID situation, we just made everything so we just come out. You know what I'm saying? To have one-on-one personal relationship with the customers. So it's like it save us money with overhead, and so we can save the customer money. So the prices have dropped tremendously since we're mobile now. So
okay,
that's a way to keep the community going, man.
Hey, listen, ain't nothing better than a man that appreciate his community. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
We appreciate you by far. Hey, it's a good show, man. I appreciate everything. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, it's been a
Definitely.
blessing, man. I love this, man, and I'll be coming back soon, man. I just had to get my feet wet, but when I come back, I'll be more prepared.
Definitely. And make sure y'all tune in at the end of the podcast. You're gonna be able to see the information for the community day. You can also be able to see the information for the
Virtuous Cellular.
Virtuous Cellular. So yeah, tune in. Of course, if you got questions for DeAngelo, leave them in the comments, because you better believe we watching and he watching. And so if you want those answers, we got them for you. But with that said, let's take another break and let's give DeAngelo his time. Hey, again, Betmoorsports, we appreciate you.
Peace.
We appreciate you.
Yes, sir.
Peace a lot, brother.
And welcome back to the Betmoorsports podcast. We are coming at you live and direct from Norfolk, Virginia. I'm your host, Avery, full with my co-host, Stephen Trotman Bay. We had DeAngelo Freeman in the building from Virtuous Cellular. He had to leave, but hey, it was great while he was here. In the meantime, let's get back to business. we want to talk about the NHL playoffs. The New York Rangers was, in our last conversation, up 2-0. Now, Guru, where's that?
It's 2-2. With game 5 currently underway, it's 0-0.
0-0. So let me ask you, are you still as confident as you was last week?
Absolutely. We have home ice.
Okay. So with home ice, which I hate to use that as an example, but Golden State had home court.
But that's not the same because we won our 2 home games. Then we lost the 2 road games. We're back home now and it's 0-0.
Right. So it'll be the same if Golden State win.
If
it was a 5th, then I'll be drunk. So you feel like that y'all still
I love our chances. Yeah.
Okay.
I love our chances.
Well, I know one thing. It's the difference when you playing the defending champs with the experience, and once they go back to 0-0, you never know.
Started at 0-0, then it went 2-0 our way.
Right.
So I can go 2-0 our way again.
When it went 2-0,
they never led this series.
It's all about momentum shifts, right? And right now they got the momentum.
We got home ice advantage.
Okay. Well,
we haven't lost a game at home in the last 9 games.
Well, you want to know somebody who has? Edmonton. They got their ass swept by Colorado.
That was expected.
So, that is substantial. Let me ask you this. Let's say y'all do go. Who do you think is going to win? Y'all think y'all can beat Colorado?
Inquiring minds would like to know. We shall see. We got this series to kind of tend to first before we can jump to Colorado. Colorado is already there.
Right.
We're trying to get there. And also, the 2-time defending champions are also trying to get there. So we're going to battle it out. But you know what they say about the teams who swept and then
got to sit for a minute?
Got to sit for a minute and face a team that potentially may go 7.
Right.
Because this may go 7.
Well, listen, I think it's a difference between a team getting rest and a team playing and remaining fresh. But, I don't know. I think y'all, at this point, are more susceptible to injury. It's more risk involved on both sides of y'all game. But listen, I'm rooting for y'all, man, because I ain't a fan of either team. But if you winning, I'm winning. So, at the end of the day, you the guru. You know what I'm saying? Shit, just let me know who I need to pick.
Let's
on
go Rangers.
Plain and simple. And I know you're not biased, so I know that if you're picking the Rangers, you generally feel like the Rangers is going to win. All right, so let's switch the gears to baseball a bit. The Angels, they lost 13 games straight before they decided to fire their manager, Joe Madden. You think it was a good fire?
No. Joe Madden is actually one of the skippers I did like. But if you lose 13 games in a row, yeah, it's time for you to hang it up.
You think it's him? Or you think it's the personnel? Like, I learned that a lot of coaches and managers, they tend to be held accountable for the personnel that they have, and a lot of times it ain't much that they can really do if your team just trash.
The Angels don't have a bad team, though, right? They have a really good team, and they had high expectations, especially with Joe Madden as the skipper. And a lot of Yankee fans was calling for Joe Madden to be the next Yankee skipper.
Don't do it. Would you take Joe Madden as?
I like Joe Madden, but no, not after him losing 13 straight.
He said that so damn fast. No chance.
Nah,
not gonna happen. So, is there anything you think they could have did differently? You know what I'm saying? From as far as their team overall, you said they don't got a bad team really, but why is it that they were so bad?
They was actually pretty good before they lost to 13 in a row.
Now,
it was actually pretty good.
I know baseball, basketball, and football are all different, but losing 13 in a row in baseball out of 172 games, I don't know if that's enough to say you fired. Like,
Exactly. It's a long season, right? And this is only June. The beginning of June. Baseball is played all the way through October.
right.
So the teams who are playing the best baseball, right,
Mm-hmm.
around August, September, are the teams who are usually making the most noise come October. To fire man this early, and he's a World Series winning coach,
Right.
right? He won the World Series with Tampa Bay, and he was a damn good manager in Tampa Bay. To fire him this soon is kind of questionable, in my opinion.
So, what now for the Angels?
Ain't know what now. They some trash. And bringing in a new manager ain't gonna change that. Like, they fired the man, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then they came out the next game and got their ass whooped.
Mm.
They're just playing bad baseball right now. It happens.
Yeah, I mean, it does, and I mean, it's unfortunate for the managers because they tend to end up and getting the short straw.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because ultimately they the responsible party. So I get it. You know what I'm saying? And I wish Joe Matt nothing but the best.
He'll get another job.
Probably. Hopefully it's not with the damn Yankees.
I don't want you with the Yankees.
Not at all. Please save your time for yourself and your family first, and then go find another job. Just don't come to New York. Well, you can go to the Mets because you know that might work in your favor. Who knows? Anyway, one thing I can say is my Yankees is doing their thing. I mean, they probably ain't doing their best thing tonight, but it's only the fourth, and the way we've been playing, bruh.
Garrett Cole gave up 3 first inning back to back home runs. Man allowed 3 runs in the first inning on 3 consecutive solo home runs, and he hasn't allowed more than 2 runs in an entire game.
Didn't what's his name? Shoney? The he with the Angels, right? The
Mhm.
pitcher, the Asian dude.
Mhm.
Can't think of. He did the same thing.
He's not Garrett Cole.
Okay. Well, from what I know, he was a Triple Crown
They just
won him last year.
Triple Crown runner.
Well, he won
Cy Young.
Cy Young. Okay, yeah, he was Cy Young, and he was like the home run. He was one of the home run leaders or something. He was on both sides of
As a pitcher?
Yeah.
No, you're doing it.
Oh no, fact check me.
You had 1 too many.
Fact check me. I'm just saying that. Listen, he was in the home run derby, wasn't
You had 1 too many.
he? That's funny. All right, so let's transition a bit. Let's go to overrated, underrated. Today's edition of overrated, underrated is gonna be based on teams in the NFL, and we're gonna just talk about the different teams and see which teams that we consider overrated and underrated. And one of the first teams that we're gonna talk about is America's team. So you better believe it. Open your mind. The Dallas Cowboys. Guru, is the Dallas Cowboys overrated or underrated?
Overrated.
Overrated. Explain, please.
The fans are obnoxious.
God.
They hype them up every year to be Super Bowl
freaking year.
contenders. They won their fair share of championships, but not the most in NFL history. So it's time for them to be quiet, man. They have been irrelevant
Mm-hmm.
for the last 20 some odd years.
I mean, that's a lot of teams.
No, not America's team. It's only one quote unquote America's team. So if you call yourself America's team and you have been irrelevant for the last 20 years, that makes you overrated.
Right, absolutely. But the problem
20 plus years.
The problem is they call themselves America's team. The reality is America's team is actually this team. The Patriots. Do you feel like the Patriots, who is red, white, and blue, who represent the way they're supposed to, they are Patriots. I mean, what more says America's team than Patriots? You think they're overrated or underrated? Now, let me rephrase that question because it can be a difficult question when you're thinking about their past as opposed to now.
Mm-hmm.
So let's talk about them as an overall franchise. Period. Overrated, underrated.
You're 100% correct in the fact that it is a difficult question, in the manner of which all of their championships are solely based upon really one man, and that's Tom Brady.
Yeah, I mean, you can kind of say that about Chicago Bulls and.
But we don't argue that Chicago Bulls is on the level of franchises as the Boston Celtics and the Los Angeles Lakers.
Right, we don't because
In the history, we can't. That's why I'm saying. But in this instance, the New England Patriots have the most rings in NFL history shared with the the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Right. I mean, I think they the only. Well, they surpassed the Steelers, didn't
I think they both got 6.
they? Okay. Yeah. If it's based on 6, they both got 6 because I think Brady just got his 7th this year.
Yeah, he got 7 without the Patriots.
Okay. All right. I mean, yeah. I feel like, and I'm not a Patriots fan by far, but I feel like Patriots is America's team. I think they should be. I think based on everything about them, I feel like that they are rated. And the reason why I feel like that they rated is because it's more so about what have you done for me lately.
Right. I feel the same.
All right, let's keep moving. We got the Green Bay Packers. Now, the Green Bay Packers is the only team that doesn't have an actual owner. They're owned by their shareholders, and so the decisions that are made in regards to the team is based on the GM and the shareholders.
I wanted to ask my man DeAngelo before he left, did he own a share in Green Bay in the decision making or the pack?
I sure hope he do.
But they're overrated. They won a lot of championships when there was championships, and their first and second, third type Super Bowl, they have been nothing far as Super Bowl winners in this modern day era.
You're 100% right. I think the only thing they really got going for them is that the Super Bowl trophy is named after Vince Lombardi.
And that's because he won the earlier Super Bowls.
Exactly. So definitely I agree. They're overrated by far. And I don't see them winning anytime soon. So they're going to stay overrated.
Exactly.
And then, Lord knows what's going to happen after they lose Aaron Rodgers. Next up, you know they had to be on the menu. San Francisco, baby. Overrated, underrated. What you got, Guru?
Overrated.
You're just hating. That's all. I get it, though.
Man, people. Nah, I'm going to say this. The 49ers are one of the franchises that produce arguably a great in various different positions. Deion Sanders was a 49er. He's the all-time greatest DB.
Mm-hmm.
Jerry Rice was a 49er. He's arguably the greatest wide receiver of all time.
He is the greatest.
Arguably, in my opinion.
I get it.
But, Joe Montana is arguably amongst some the greatest quarterback
That's definitely
of all time. Right? So, 49ers are really underrated as a franchise. They just trash in today's era.
Listen, he called us trash, and he entitled. I feel like that we are rated. I feel like that our franchise is exactly what we look when you look at us. We are looked at as a upper echelon franchise, and we are. And we make it a point to make good decisions as often as we can. So I feel like we are rated. We're not underrated or overrated. We are exactly who we are. we're winners. The one thing that everybody knows is that San Francisco win when we need to, and so I give us rated. So let's move to our last one. Overrated or underrated, and of course, it's going to be the Guru Squad, the New York Giants. What you got?
Underrated, man.
Oh, my gosh.
This is a franchise we're talking about that has won a Super Bowl, right? And every decade since the 80s. We won one in the 80s, the 90s, the 2000s, and the 10s. And we'll win one in the 20s. So we're underrated. And we got a gang of championships. You don't want to argue about championships before they were Super Bowls because we right up there at the top of the list. And we got 4 Super Bowl rings.
Well, one thing that I can say is ain't nobody arguing about no damn championship because don't nobody give a damn.
They argue about
no
them when it comes to Green Bay.
Listen, don't nobody give a damn about Green Bay neither. Super Bowls matter in the
But
NFL.
you can't discredit the championships because they were championships before they were named Super Bowls. So because I decided that after we done played 10, 15 seasons, I want to change the name from championship to Super Bowl, doesn't discredit the championships won. That don't make no sense.
Okay, so let me ask the people out there something. When you speak on a team, when you talk about a team, do you focus on how many championships they won, or do you focus on how many Super Bowls they won?
The championship was the Super Bowl prior to it being named the Super Bowl.
One thing that the Guru just said in this entire conversation early on is that the Patriots are tied with the Steelers for the most Super Bowls.
Right.
You didn't mention championships for a reason.
I didn't mention championships because we were talking about the Super Bowl era, right? That's just like saying, I won the first fantasy football ring, right? Y'all see that? I won the first, right? And because when the host, Avery, won the championship, he decided to make it a ring and a belt. Does that mean that I didn't win the fantasy championship because he got a belt? He was the first to win a belt? So now we're just going to count those who got belts.
No, because I also won a ring. And the reality
That's because you won 2 because you're the commissioner and you won. You gave yourself a ring and a belt. But I won the first ring. Does that discredit the fact that I am a champion?
Does anybody talk about the first championship that Green Bay won?
Are you discrediting my championship
No.
because you got a belt?
No, I'm not discrediting.
It sounds like that's what you're doing.
No. What I'm saying is, at the end of the day, I am the inaugural. Well, no, you're the inaugural. I am the current champion.
Right. So you're the commissioner. You bought yourself a belt
The commissioner,
and a ring.
Me being the commissioner, I got nothing to do with it.
It has a lot to do with it.
I actually won the Super Bowl, and what I did is I took my winnings that I won, and I get everybody a ring that win the Super Bowl. I asked everybody in the league. So the one thing that the Guru is not mentioning is I asked everybody in the league, would they prefer a belt or championship chain? Everybody chose a belt, literally.
But he got himself a belt and a ring. We chose a belt. We didn't choose a damn ring. Man bought a ring because he is the commissioner.
I bought a ring because I'm a Super Bowl champion.
I have the first ring.
What do people do when they win the Super Bowl?
That I am not a champ.
When people win the Super Bowl,
because you got a belt.
What they get? They get a ring, right?
Right, but you got a ring and a belt. This ain't the WWF
you right,
or the WWE.
I'm just a champion. That's what champions do.
I don't disagree with that. Are you trying to discredit my championship?
Not at all. If I was
because
trying to discredit,
it's not a
I
belt.
would not have his championship on this belt. His championship is right here.
The first.
You can literally see he was the first, and he beat me to win. The very first one.
I don't care who
and
I
even
beat.
then,
I'm
I was the
champ.
commissioner.
I am the champ.
So you know,
and I didn't get a belt.
But
do that mean because I didn't get a belt, I'm not the champ?
No, it means because I won the belt, you're not the champ.
No, what I'm saying is we're discrediting championships because they weren't named Super Bowls.
No, It's not about discrediting the championship. It's about speaking in regards to what history speaks on.
History speaks of
on Super
championships.
Bowls.
We speak of Super Bowls, but true football historians speak on championships converted into Super Bowls. But the Giants are underrated.
Okay, well, I definitely disagree with that. I feel like
Of course
the
you
Giants
do, because we got more championships than y'all do.
Y'all don't got more championships than us.
We do. We don't have more Super Bowls than y'all. We got more championships than you.
Oh, see, that's what happens. The Giants, they tend to keep track of the championships, but not the Super
We're not
Bowls.
the only team.
You know, that's all I'm saying. It's a difference. Hey, y'all watching? What do you keep track of? Super Bowls or the championships? Do you know the last time a championship was had? You know, and I ain't speaking in regards to no NFC or AFC championship. I'm talking about NFL championship.
Those are NFL championships, but those were prior to the NFL AFL merger. So they was considered championships, not Super Bowls.
They was prior to me too.
A lot of things. Most of Dallas Cowboys Super Bowls was prior to you.
That's true.
But they count them.
That's true. I can't even argue that. That's for sure. Because, bruh. Oh, no. All I know is Super Bowls count right now. That's the only thing that really matters. Don't nobody speak in regards to championships. Championships have their own merit and value or what not. But in today's day and age, when you really speak of a team being a winning team, they refer to the amount of Super Bowls a team won. They don't speak in regards to the amount of championships.
All right, well, we won 4 Super Bowls. And y'all
Congratulations.
won 5.
Which is more than 4. In case
Okay.
we didn't know. But they beat us
Congratulations.
to get there. So, you know, I don't
We
knock
won
them.
one every decade
But even then,
since the 80s.
they still overrated.
Since you've been born, we won a Super Bowl in every decade you've been alive. Can you say the same about the 49ers?
We had to. We just won back-to-backs and shit like that.
This man will
No.
give you every reason not to give
Listen,
you that correct answer.
Did you
the
realize?
answer is no. You did not win every decade since you've been alive.
Did you realize that the Guru just tried to take the fact that they won 4, which is less than 5, and the fact that they won one in every decade, that is supposed to be better than us winning 5. He didn't say that, but that's the approach that's coming from that. Because it was one in every decade.
So is that substantial? That we won one in the 80s, 90s, 2000s, and the 10s?
Do it matter?
It does.
No,
I'm answering you a question.
So,
Why do you answer every question with a question?
because sometimes your question is questionable. I love myself.
We won one every decade. You did not. All right. Moving along.
Let's move along. So next up, we're going to talk about placing it in order. And normally we'll have visuals, but this time around we're not going to do visuals because we did visuals for overrated, underrated. So we're going to place in order our edge rushers. And let's talk about the edge rushers that we place in that order. We got Reggie White from the Green Bay Packers, Bruce Smith, Buffalo Bills, and Michael Strahan from the New York Giants. Guru, place them in order.
They in order. Reggie, Bruce, Mike.
I agree. I hate to agree with the Guru if you don't know. But in this case, I agree. Reggie White is probably one of the best edge rushers ever, if not the.
Although Bruce is the all-time sack leader.
Bruce is the all-time sack leader. But anybody can be the all-time sack leader when they play 100 years.
Anybody cannot be the all-time sack leader because only Bruce Smith is. And Reggie White played 100 years as well.
Yeah, well, Reggie White is still ahead of Bruce Smith for a reason, right?
I just like Reggie White because he was the minister of defense.
My point is that.
And
Bruce
Michael
Smith won't-
Strahan is the single-season sack leader.
Individually, I get it. You know
But
what I'm
Reggie
saying?
just was dominant to me.
Reggie was
And it's
dominant.
hard for me to put somebody that's not from Norfolk over somebody that's from Norfolk.
But you did. So,
And I put him over somebody that's from Norfolk and somebody that's a Giant.
yeah. Which says a lot about Reggie White.
But B. Trotman say Michael Strahan is his greatest defensive end of all
Listen.
time. And B. Trotman played defensive end. So
But B. Trotman is also fucking delusional. Did you see the last episode of B. Trotman? If you're not, tune into the last episode of B. Trotman because B. Trotman lost his damn mind. All All right, let's move on. Let's talk about
Outside linebacker.
outside linebackers. We got Lawrence Taylor, Derek Thomas, Von Miller, and Khalil Mack. We got 4 this go round. Guru, break them down.
I got LT, DT, Khalil Mack, and Von Miller.
Man, that is I can't say I disagree with it, but I don't agree with it in that sense. It's a pretty good pick. But I got Lawrence Taylor, Derek Thomas, Von Miller, and Khalil Mack. And, of course, yes, I got Von Miller over Khalil Mack based on accomplishment. Khalil Mack don't seem to be able to stay healthy at this point, and Von Miller do. Von Miller playing late in his time, and he's still playing at a high level. So, yes, I choose Von Miller over Khalil Mack, but not over Derek Thomas and Lawrence Taylor. Of course, Lawrence Taylor is the GOAT, and that mofo is from VA, and he played for the Giants. I said it. Next up, we got middle linebackers, and that group consists of some of the greatest ever: Ray Lewis, Patrick Willis, and Mike Singletary of the Chicago Bears. Guru, what you got?
That's a difficult one.
I know.
Because Ray got the accolades, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mike was a dog.
Mike was a pit
Pat
bull.
was a dog. Pat retired too soon, right?
Broke my heart.
But I like Pat over Ray, me personally.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going Pat, Ray, Mike Singletary.
Wow. I can appreciate that. Believe it or not, I'm going to go Mike, Pat, Ray. I feel like Mike Singletary, the way he played through inspiration. And that goes a long way as a teammate. When you kind of got players willing to put themselves on the line for you, that says a lot. He tried that with coaching, and he coached San Francisco, and he grabbed his ass and everything. And that ain't work.
See, I can't win with him. Can't coach with him. Can't do it.
Sent my man Vernon Davis to the locker room.
And sent his ass packing right out.
And got fired the next damn week. And then Vernon Davis made the Pro Bowl after that. So, but from a coaching standpoint, nope. But from a player standpoint, I definitely start with Mike, and then Patrick, and then Ray. All right, so with that said, let's transition a bit. You know what I'm saying? Last Saturday, there was a boxing epidemic, pandemic, whatever you want to call it. No matter what, it was a clinic. My man Devin Haney went one-on-one with Kambosa, and it was a great fight. I think I seen at one point Kambosa hurt him, but it was right at the end of the round, which didn't really matter at that point. But I ain't gonna lie, Devin Haney showed extensive signs of Floyd Mayweather. What you think about that fight, Guru?
It went exactly how we predicted it to go.
He did.
Haney by decision. But he really whooped the man.
He whooped.
In my opinion, like he beat the man and he put on a boxing clinic.
And you know somebody get whipped when the fight is over and you lose your sportsmanship. If Kambosa would have won that fight, Kambosa would have been giving him hugs and shaking his hands and saying, "Great fight, you did a great job. I'm proud of you. Congratulations. Next time, maybe it'll be a different result." But no, Kambosa wanted to keep fighting. He was pissed that he took that L, and he felt like he was running or whatever. But I feel like Devin Haney, number one, he raised his stock because he was fighting from a masterclass perspective.
Right.
To a point that I actually got to change my outlook on it. If he fought Tank, I feel like he'll probably beat Tank.
He don't punch hard enough.
It ain't about punching hard for him. I think that's the biggest thing. Tank got to land punches on him. And he's a boxer. He boxed. And just like Floyd fighting Manny Pacquiao, if you can't hit him, you can't beat him.
Tank landed one punch on Rolling.
Rolly is not Devin Haney. And
Tank landed one punch on Rolly.
let me ask you
To
this.
be honest,
You think Rolly would have beat Devin Haney?
it would have been a good fight.
It would have been a good fight. But would he have beat him?
I don't know until they fight.
I can't ever.
I don't
come
like
close to
the.
seeing
I
that
don't
happen.
like the fact that it's an automatic rematch
Yeah,
in
that's
that fight
stupid.
because that was not
I don't even
a
understand.
fight close enough to me to say, all right, they deserve a rematch.
I don't understand how that was even in a clause where
Because he was the champ.
who was the champ? Rolly wasn't the champ.
No, I'm talking about not the Rolly fight.
Oh,
I'm
you
talking about the
Cambosa
Devin
fight.
Haney and Campos.
Oh yeah. I mean, it
That's an
wasn't-
automatic rematch.
right.
Tank don't got to fight Rolly again.
It won't close, but yeah, when you the undisputed champ,
Yeah, that's why I
You
say
know,
because he
kinda
was
gotta
the
get it.
champ, you kind of get an automatic rematch. But if you looked at the fight, it doesn't deserve. It's nothing I could see. If you watch the film of the fight, right, as a boxer, you go break down the film. It's nothing you can see that makes me say that, all right, if we do this or that different, the outcome will be different.
You're 1,000% right. It's he beat him up. He just literally beat him up. The whole
Right, they
fight.
can fight that fight 100 times, and
And it's gonna
Devin
be the same
Haney will
result.
beat it one
Yep.
100 times.
But Devin Haney definitely showed signs of Floyd, and I think I appreciate that a little more than what Tank did, even though what Tank did was more entertaining. But from a boxing standpoint, and just looking at the masterclass that my man put on, he was in and out. And while Cambosa caught him with a good shot, it didn't stop him. He came right back, and he got his legs back and finished what he started. And, you know, I think people overlook that and expect boxing to be slugfest the entire time. And if it's not a slugfest, then they start booing and they want people to get knocked out. And listen, if I'm a boxer in the boxing ring, I don't want to get knocked out.
Right.
So if I'm fighting, I'm going to fight through strategy and I'm going to fight through skill. And, you know, again, people like Tank, not taking nothing away from Tank, the skill side of it is limited because he rely on a knockout. If that fight against Rolly would have went to the cards, Tank would have lost.
We can't necessarily say that because there was more rounds to be fought.
Right. It was.
And Tank was winning rounds as well as Rolly. Rolly won a lot of the earlier rounds. I will say that. But it was so many rounds to be decided. Rolly made a mistake. You can't make a mistake against Tank.
Right. That's the problem. You can't make mistakes, which Tank couldn't make a mistake, and he almost did.
Tank made plenty of mistakes, and he didn't get knocked out.
Right. See, but he ain't made the same type of mistake Rolly made. Rolly made a mistake where he just left himself fully exposed, and Tank ain't even had to put all the power in it.
Right.
And Rolly didn't know whether he had a chin or not, and now he know his chin is very limited.
It's not what he thought it was.
You know what I'm
before the fight.
saying? So that I think that's the difference maker. But if it was Devin Haney against Tank, which I don't see that fight happening, but if it was, I feel like it'll be more of a boxing match for Haney, while Tank is gonna rely on the knockout and rely on Haney making a mistake. And if Haney don't make a mistake, there's no way Tank is gonna win, because Tank is not gonna win on the scorecards. I think that's just the reality of that. Tank not going on the scorecard. I think the last 5 fights he had, he was losing on the scorecards, and he had to finish them. He finished her, everybody.
He's a knockout artist.
He's a knockout artist, exactly. And you know who else is a knockout artist?
The New York Rangers. We up 1-0.
Uh-oh, that might be
We up 1-0.
something to consider. All right, so look, hey, coming up, let's take a break. But coming up, we got the one thing that a lot of people look forward to, and if you don't, you probably should, because the one thing that it involves is moolah, baby.
Winning money.
It's the Guru's pick of the day. We'll be back. Betmoorsports.
Don't want to miss it.
And now it's time for the Guru's pick of the day.
The Guru's pick of the day is Jordan Poole in Game 5? 4. In Game 4, over 14.5 total points, rebounds, and assists. Take everything you can beg, borrow, and steal, and bet it on Jordan Poole to get over 14.5 total points, rebounds, and assists.
And that's the game. You heard it live in direct once again from the guru himself, Jordan Poole. Over 14. You better believe it. It's free money. I don't know what more you want from us. Betmoorsports.com. Subscribe. You better believe if you want to get some money, that's where you're going to get it from. We got the guru. One thing you don't. With that said, hey, that's the end of our show for the day. You know, episode 13. We are live. We are coming out. Shout out to Virtuous Cellular.
Shout out
DeAngelo
Virtuous
Freeman.
Cellular, man. And if you can and you're able, get out to the Croc Center this Saturday, man, and support that event. We got a lot of local vendors that's pushing their products. And they are products to help aid and assist in longevity, man, to help you live a long-lasting life of health
And longevity.
and wealth.
It goes a long way. And one thing that I can say is, you know, the guru, he focuses on longevity too. You know what I'm saying? And he's one of them healthy eaters. And I can't say that I am, but
We're going to get you on track.
You know, he's definitely an example. And
We're going to definitely get you on track, man. But before we close, I want to give a sincere condolence to the family of Demetrius Dem Whitehurst, man, my brother that I played football with at Booker T. Washington High School. He passed away suddenly and unfortunately in the last past days. And for those who have played sports and participated in sports and just follow sports, you know, when you play sports with a person and you go through the tour days and the summer practices and the grueling seasons with a particular person, they become like your brothers. And this was like my brother, and he's no longer here with us in the physical form. And I want to just say, you know, rest well, bro, man. And I wish you the best on whichever plane of existence you may find yourself on. And with that being said, thank you for tuning in. We appreciate you. If you watching, subscribe. If you winning money, subscribe, like, comment, and share our posts on all social media platforms. Facebook, Betmoorsports, Instagram, Betmoorsports, YouTube, Betmoorsports, Twitter, Betmoorsports. Till next time.
Till next time. And hey, if you want to get on the show, leave a comment. Let us know. With that said, Betmoorsports, we out.
Peace.
Peace.